Anderton's backing track, some Danish Pete, which was super fun, by the way. If you've never jammed along to the Anderton's backing track stuff, check it out. It's really good. Yeah, make fantastic loops. Really fun to jam over. But that's not why we're here today, making this video, because I have in my possession the brand new, sorry, I'm tuning, but the brand new Magnatone Baby M80 combo. This is an amp that I've been excited about for a long time. First one we got in at the shop, we got this one and a stack at the same time, like Casino Guitars. This one's sold. It's not mine, sadly. I would really like to own one of these at some point. I've got the big brother, you can see back there behind it. I've got an actual M80, which I gigged with this past weekend, and it was fantastic. So I already know that I love the M80 sound, and I was hoping that these amps would be, as good as that, and they are. I think Magnatone nailed it. I dare say that these maybe even more usable for most people. It just depends on how loud you want to be and how much headroom you need. But, and I'm going to pull up the specs because I can't remember the name of the tubes. These things are loud, man. You could gig these things. Just then when I was jamming with that backing track, I only had the master right around just above 2. Like barely above 2. So pretty killer sounding little thing. That was on high gain the whole time. We did a demo of the head cab on Casino, and I just plugged straight in with the telly. I was plugged into the board that I use with my M80 this time, which is a smaller board than I typically use when I'm running a cleaner amp, because I need less sort of overdrive things, and it's just it's got 2 different delay pedals that I put in the loop. So there's 2 delay pedals that were just running into the loop. The only thing I ever touched or had on was the Way Huge Aquapus. And then I've got a Boss MB200 not in the loop. I actually prefer it going to the front of the amp for modulation. So I have it set for I have a rotary, have a tremolo, some different things, of course. We can go through some of those sounds in a second. I have a Petty John Electronics Petty Drive version 2. I've got it pretty much set. It's a dual overdrive. I pretty much got it set as 2 different boosts. I've got a wah down there. I've got a tuner. I've got a Boss Blues Driver, the Wazacraft edition, set to the custom sound that makes it a little more gnarly. So we'll go through all those things because, and part of the reason I played the Gretsch on this video, you'll probably hear this amp, with all the normal sort of guitars that you would think in sort of a Marshall-y type little thing. But man, the thing that knocked me out about this small one is and the big one as well, honestly, it's really versatile. You can do all sorts of things. It does a pretty fantastic, fat, clean sound. It's different than a Fender. It lives in that sort of JTM, Marshall-y kind of world. But man, it's gorgeous with this guitar. My M80 is my favorite amp for my Falcon, which maybe you wouldn't think, but it does an almost Voxy, chimey kind of thing. That's like, I hate to even say Voxy, but it's got this chime that none of my other amps have with this guitar specifically. So the Baby M80 is the same. And like I said, this one is built around an actual NOS GE tube. It's a 6AQ5 or a 6005. So pretty cool that you get a GE NOS tube. In my mind, that means they're going to last a long time in these. It's 12AX7s, I think, in the preamp section. I'll double check that. Let's see. Yeah, so front end operates there, and it's got a high and a low gain mode. But anyways, it's 110. Got master volume, got the low and the high gain. It's just got gain, treble, bass, master, and it's got the effects loop right up here on top. And like I said, I was running that stuff in the loop. So let's just hear it a little bit with the Gretsch here. I'm going to go to the low gain channel. Right now, I've got the master on 2. I've got the gain up around 6. There's the neck pickup on my Gretsch. Let's hear that again. So speaking of clean tone, that is a really good clean tone. I did still have that Aquapus on, but just barely. You know, it wasn't very you know. Here it is without that, without anything. Here's a Tontuga Effects Delphine delay and the loop. Go to the middle position. To me, that sounds pretty fantastic. You know, you get rid of the delay. Now, you can get a little dirtier if you juice the gain in that, you know, in the low channel. Here's the gain. So even that, pretty awesome, just broken up, maybe edge of breakup. I'm sure if you had a guitar with little hotter humbuckers, it would break up that low gain channel more. Let's hear it with the blues driver right there. So there it is, no pedal, blues driver. Sounds pretty phenomenal. I told you I had that petty drive set up pretty much as a boost. Pretty fantastic. Now, you might be saying, hey, I want to buy an amp like this and I don't want to use pedals. You could absolutely not use drive pedal. I mean, you know, overdrive, dirt things. You might want fuzz, you might want something like that. Obviously, it takes those things really well. But I just love the idea that, you know, there's a little Super Comet, or not Comet, but an Amulet back there that I use for grab and go gigs. You know, it's got tremolo, it's got reverb, but man, this probably just as good of a pedal platform, if not better. And can do the dirty, raunchy rock and roll thing with a master volume at 12 watts. The Amulet can go down to 1, and it gets pretty dirty, but it doesn't sound like this thing. And this thing's not that crazy expensive. It's $19.99, so right under $2,000. That's pretty much is $2,000. But God, it's a killer amp. And again, it could be the only amp. Like if I only had this amp, I can't think of any gig where, you know, I would be disappointed. Let's go over to the high gain. So I want to show you something that I love on the M80. I'm going to put the gain down to like 2. And I'm going to turn the master up a little bit. I'm also going to take the treble down, and you get this sort of fattest clean. Get a great clean tone, man, that if you dig in, it's just starting to get hairy. It takes modulation and things really well. blues drive. Neck pickup. That boost, you know, the petty drive boost. It just really sounds good. Now, obviously, what you probably want to hear is here's the gain. I'm going to put the master back down on 2-ish. Just because, again, it's still really loud. It's a 12-watt 2-amp. Magnatones, I think, are known for being really loud. Everyone I've played is louder than, you know, they sort of punch above their wattage, what you would think. Here's the gain. Here's the gain halfway on the high gain. Not crazy gainy right there. Let's keep going up. Here's 3/4 of the way. Here's on 9. Now we're getting to that sort of. So all you're hearing there's the amp and that Aquapus. Way huge Aquapus delay. Here's nothing. I turned the delay off and everything. Sounds pretty great. I'm gonna dime the gain on this high gain channel just so you see what it sounds like. With the Aquapus again. So anyways, and again, even with the gain up, right? Like, even if I got the gain up, here's the gain back to that sort of not quite 9 o'clock. Here's a boost. That boost pedal. And suddenly you are like breathing fire. It's great. Here's the blues driver in that setting. So, not really a bad sound in there. It is bright, like I find most Magnatones to be. So, don't be afraid. Don't do it with your eyes. Do it with your ears when you're setting the EQ. Don't be afraid to back the treble off a little bit. Don't be afraid to give it, you know, more bass than you would in like a Fender style amp. Maybe if you are a Marshall guy, you're used to doing that. I don't think so, though. I think it's a bit different than a Marshall as well. But it is glorious. So, obviously, sell these amps at Casino Guitars. I love them. We have the stack, the little 110 cab and the head in stock. Don't have any more combos. Hopefully we'll order some. I really want one. So, I mean, I think I would use this amp to gig a ton. The only sad thing about it is I'd probably, my Twilighter and my regular M80 would probably see less going out time. But that's okay. But anyways, killer amp. I do think it would get over a drummer. But yeah, you owe yourself to go try one. The Magnatone Baby M80. This is the 110 combo. This one's going to a new home soon. The guy who bought it was just kind enough to let me demo it. But anyways, there you go. Hit like, hit subscribe, click the bell. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll do more like it in the future. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. See you next time.